Welcome to Duo Chats with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about Season 2, Episode 19, titled Rest in Peace, air date May 5th, 1999, and the synopsis is
In the aftermath of Abby's death, Olive Capeside is attempting to whitewash her life, but all the hypocrisy is making Jen angry, knowing that Abby's good life was all a scam. At Abby's funeral, Jen delivers a eulogy where she embarrasses Graham by announcing that Abby taught her the falseness of God. Meanwhile, Abby's mother asks Andy to deliver the eulogy after mistakenly thinking they were friends. Joey is afraid to attend the funeral, which brings back bad memories of her own mother's funeral, while Dawson persuades her to overcome her fears. Also, Gail tells Dawson that she has accepted a job offer as a TV executive in Philadelphia.
Did you like how it started?
Um,
With the two obnoxious
oh,
people, Dawson and Joey.
yeah, I keep forgetting that happened.
I try to
On the last
forget
one.
it, but
Yeah.
it's really hard to forget.
Yeah, I actually wasn't surprised that Jen was already there when they got into the bedroom because, Dawson
How come
always
they
has his
never,
ladder
how
and
come they
window
never,
open.
yeah, but how come they never use the front door?
I guess it's just quicker to go up the ladder, just right there.
You know, they're pretty hard on that roof.
Yeah.
Always climbing up the roof.
Mhm. You think they would have knocked down some tiles or something?
Yeah, and they would have to get a new roof every couple of years.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're not very smart.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
sorry about Dawson. I feel like with the fall through it.
yeah.
Like if you keep going up the roof or up
Mhm.
the ladder onto the roof, I feel like you would eventually fall through.
Yeah.
But the whole making out, I mean, ew, I don't need to see them kissing.
Mm.
Do you?
I didn't really care.
All they do is kiss and it's awkward. I'm sorry, their kissing is
Mhm.
not cute. You probably like it though.
Like I said, I really don't care about it. I was
So
just
now all of a sudden it's towards the end now of season 2. You're like, oh, I don't care if they kiss.
well, before it was
Remember at
just
the beginning, you're like, yeah, kiss, kiss.
well, it was just a build up before. Now it's just not really that much of a, you know, thing to look forward to. It's not really because it hasn't really been building towards that. It was like, on and off, up and down. So, but I was more interested in Jen because after everything that happened with Abby, that was her first thought was to go to Dawson's place.
Well, where else is she gonna go? She has no friends.
I
I
know
mean,
it's
the one person out of everyone who's like been somewhat nice is Dawson. Remember, because she was helping him with his movie and stuff. So at least he was more of a friend than anyone else in the group.
hmm I'm just saying because it's been a while since she was kind of really part of the group. So at least she thought she could still go there.
Well, everybody climbs through his window. I mean, even Abby climbed through his window.
Yeah, but that wasn't to see Dawson. It was to spy on Jen.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, it's his house. Everybody uses his house,
hmm
especially his window. I told you he needs to lock his window. You
Yeah.
never know who's going to be in there.
hmm
And isn't it weird how they didn't see her?
Well, the lights were off.
I know, but she was just sitting on his bed.
Yeah, well, they weren't paying attention to the room.
It's weird. Like, open up your eyes and notice. I mean, I know Joey noticed, but not after the whole making out,
hmm
or not before.
Yeah. But that was sweet how Joey ended up holding Jen to comfort her after she told them what happened to Abby.
Yeah, that was nice.
hmm And then with Abby's death,
But man, Jen
yeah.
was a mess.
hmm Well, I would be too if I saw that, wouldn't you?
Hmm. I mean, it was Abby.
Well, that was the only friend that Jen had at the time for a while.
She wasn't a good friend
I know, but it was still someone that Jen could hang out with, talk to.
and get in trouble with.
hmm
That was the only thing Abby was good for, was to get Jen in trouble.
hmm
She wasn't a friend.
Well, it could have been worse. She could have got Jen arrested or something.
I'm surprised she didn't. Remember when she was stealing the lipstick and all that? I
Yeah,
mean,
well, you don't go to jail for stealing lipstick, but
okay, But remember when Jen slapped her and we said that, sorry she didn't press charges
Mhm.
because she was upset? I mean, Abby would be the person that would do that.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, but Jen's upset because she feels guilty.
Yeah, that too.
But Jen didn't do anything.
What do you mean?
Well, it isn't her fault that it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, but with it just happening and witnessing it is just she's not
I
thinking
know, but
clearly.
it's not her fault.
Mhm.
Abby's death is not her fault.
Mhm.
It happened.
Yeah.
And well, because she tells Andy at the end that she feels guilty because she got Abby drunk.
Mhm.
She didn't get Abby drunk.
Yeah, Abby's the one that took the bottle in the
I know
first
she
place.
stole the bottle
Mhm.
from the wedding. And then and out of anybody, I mean, Abby's always the one getting Jen in trouble. So, no. She wanted to drink. She sat on Jen's bed and said that she wanted boys and booze.
Mhm.
So, no, it's not your fault. If she didn't go to the wedding, she would have found some party to go to in town and take their liquor.
True.
So, she would have done anything. So, she probably would have went to the store and found someone like Ursula and got her to buy the alcohol. She would have done something
Mhm.
because that girl was on a mission to drink.
Mhm.
But do you think that Abby was miserable in her life, so all she did was want to drink like Jen?
Well, yeah, she said her life was boring, but
I mean, think about it. Those two were pretty miserable.
mhm.
And then they were like miserable together.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that made them happy was drinking.
Mhm.
I feel like Abby was just a very miserable person. And I think that's why she would always say miserable or horrible things to everybody else
Mhm.
because she didn't have a good life.
Yeah.
Well, I guess now she really can rest in peace.
Mhm.
I mean, I still think it's weird that they just killed her off.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder what was happening. Like, why did they just want to kill her off?
Mhm. But I can't imagine like any other plot lines they could have included her in that, wasn't the same thing with Jen over and over again.
Yeah. I wonder how the fans liked it back then to actually, you know, see this week to week and then be like, oh my gosh, Abby's gone.
Mm.
Because Abby was not a fun character to watch.
Right.
She was mean.
Mhm.
So, and then she made Jen out of control. Because
Yeah.
think about season 1, Jen was the smart one.
Mhm.
Jen was the one that understood everybody and tried to help everybody. And then season 2, she just went loose with Abby. And I wonder if fans didn't like that. Because think, she wasn't really part of the group in season 2.
Mhm.
And I think that's one reason why I didn't like season 2 is because the group was not together.
Right.
They were divided.
Mhm.
So, and you never like to watch the cast divided on a TV show, on any TV show, not just this one, but any of them. You want to see them all getting along. Yes, they're going to have fights, obviously, and drama, but you still want them to be together, not isolated.
Mhm.
You never want one character to just be isolated unless they're like the devil or something. But Jen's not the devil. So, yeah, I did feel bad for her this season, though,
Yeah.
because she was just so isolated.
Mhm.
I mean, what did she do to deserve that?
I don't know.
I didn't think anything.
And then Joey's been thinking about her mother now with Abby and her funeral coming up.
Yeah, did you like the scene with her dad?
Yeah, but like her dad tried to talk to her, but Joey just couldn't listen to it, and then she left for school because she apparently it's been about 3 years since her mother died, and with Abby's death, it's now kind of forcing her to face those feelings about her mother's death that she's been avoiding the whole time. That's why she just doesn't want to hear anything about her mother.
Well, and then Joey told Dawson that she wasn't going to attend the funeral. Do you think she should?
Yeah, out of respect, even though Abby didn't really
Okay,
respect
I have
any
a
of
question.
them,
I have a
but
question about this episode.
yeah.
Now that we're talking about attending. I mean, it's not just Joey, but all of them, okay, everyone besides Jen, why are any of them going to the funeral? Abby hated them. She called them horrible names, and they hated her. So the only one that was her so-called friend
Mm-hmm.
is Jen.
Yeah.
So why are the rest of them going?
I don't know. It's just
Think
like a.
about it. If somebody that we cannot stand
Mm-hmm.
died, I would not go up to their funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't expect them to come to mine.
Right.
Actually, you better not come to mine because I didn't like you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing is you only want the people that you love or they loved you. You don't want people that hate you there
Mm-hmm.
or you hated them.
Yeah.
I am not going to waste my day attending someone I could not stand and said horrible things about me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way in hell I am going to attend your funeral. I'd rather go watch paint dry. What?
No, yeah, you got a point. I don't
So
know.
the whole town is going to go. Really? Abby hated
Yes.
everybody.
Well, they don't know that because they haven't seen our journal.
Are you who cares about the journal? She said horrible things to their faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least the core. Core.
Yeah, so if you know that she said that to them, I'm sure she ran her mouth to everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's just weird that the town is going to her funeral. It's not like she was popular and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
She was like the little devil.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they just need everybody to witness Jen's eulogy.
Yeah, that's the only way they could do it. But couldn't she make it be dramatic at school or something, not actually at the funeral?
I don't know. The funeral will make the most sense. Or even so, like Andy and Pacey still would have been there, so they could have told the group. But I don't
Why?
know.
Okay, yeah, why are they there? Pacey hated Abby.
He's supporting Andy,
I,
who,
I know I didn't like that part either.
yeah, I agree
No,
too.
I don't. Okay, I like him supporting her. I
Mm.
don't like uh
Andy,
that Andy had to.
give the eulogy.
Yep, not on board with that.
Yeah, it was just for Abby's mom.
I don't care. Do you forget what Abby said about her mother?
No, but she doesn't know about that. Oh, wait. Andy's mother? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
At
Yeah,
the election, she
right.
put Andy in tears
Yeah,
and ran out, and the school did nothing. They didn't suspend Abby. She didn't get in trouble. I mean, what kind of school is that?
I know.
So no, that's my thing is she has done some horrible things and
Hmm.
said horrible things to Andy. Of all people to give a eulogy, it should not be Andy.
Yeah, just Andy didn't want to disappoint Abby's mom. That's all. And they were in a public place too, so if Andy would have said no, her mom probably would have just started bursting into tears. Would you want to make that happen?
Yeah, to send your daughter is a B. So goodbye. I would have been Jen. Well, it's true. Even Jen tells Andy in the bathroom, like,
Yeah, after
just say
the
it.
group.
Just say it. She's a bitch. Or she was a bitch. And I'm
Yeah.
like, exactly. Andy, just say it. But Andy couldn't say it because Andy's too nice. Like, I'm like Jen. She was horrible. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that you were so sweet because you weren't so sweet. You were horrible to everybody.
Hmm. Yeah, Andy just believed that it wasn't right to talk badly about people who have passed on.
It's her own fault if you have a bad memory of people. Like, if you do something bad or say something and then I feel differently, I shouldn't have to be like, she was so sweet. I miss her so much. No, no, no. That's just pukey, pukey, pukey. That is what I do not like about people that when someone dies,
Hmm.
then they're all like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss them. I hate those kind of people, which is the whole dang town, apparently.
Right?
I do not like those people. Do not be sad when I'm dead. You know what I mean? You
Hmm.
should say, if you really feel nice things about me, you should say them while I'm alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I was horrible, then just say it. Like, everybody in town knew she was. It's not like, okay, it's not like what they say after she's dead is going to change how they felt
Hmm.
and how the whole town felt about her.
Yeah.
It's still going to be like 10 years later. Remember that girl? She was so mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, oh my gosh, 10 years later, she was so sweet. Remember all the
Mm-hmm.
nice things that were said about her after she died? No. It's still going to be she was the devil. I don't think that it's going to erase everything, and it shouldn't.
Yeah. Jack was actually the one that did say that she was like a devil.
See, he agrees with me.
But what did you think about Joey telling Dawson after she said she wasn't going to Abby's funeral, but then talking about her mother, she said that she believes that her mom will come back to life? Like, since her dad came back, like her mom will too.
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, like I get if she was like
2?
5, yeah, but like 15 or 16, like you're old enough to know that that's not going to happen, you know?
You were at her funeral.
Yeah.
You were by her side when she
Mm-hmm.
died,
Yeah.
or when she was going to die.
Yeah. So she's really delusional about that.
I know, she's turning into Andy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Dawson's face was like, what do I say after you just said
Right.
this?
No, well, I think she said, "Do you think that's stupid or something?" And he said no, or
No, but his face
he said
said
something, yeah.
yes.
I know, but he was just, trying to be
No, I know
supportive.
he was trying to find the words to be nice,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just like, Dawson,
Yeah.
I'm lost with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you say to her when she says that? Because
Yeah.
I am lost.
Yeah, because
But his face, though, was
yeah.
priceless because he's like, I think you're starting to lose it.
Yeah, he did tell her that she has to let go of that false
Well,
hope.
yeah, because he basically called her childish, which is funny.
And then Joey said that he doesn't know what it's like, as in to lose a parent.
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah, but
But if he keeps being mean to Daddy, he will.
yeah, but like we said, like she's really old enough by now to know, the difference between death and being alive.
Well, and she's went through some crazy things in her life. Big things. Her dad going to prison, her mom
Mhm.
dying, things kids should not deal with.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's dealt with them at a young age. I don't know. Like, you went through some big things. You're not a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like your brain isn't a child. I don't know. Like,
I think it's just her way to cope, even though it's definitely not the best way.
did she attend her mom's funeral?
Yeah, she said that the last funeral I was at was my mom's when talking about Abby.
Well, because I know like some people, it's really hard to go to their mom's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people won't go.
Right.
So I just feel like if Joey's that kind of like she doesn't want to let go,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she wouldn't go to the funeral because that would mean you're letting go.
Yeah.
Like you grieve. Yes, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
continue, but you're actually seeing the reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did say she did go.
But yeah, it's just so what'd she do? Just ignore her in her head, just like space out of the whole
I
funeral?
guess. Yeah.
That was weird. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when she said that, I was like shaking my head. I'm like, yeah, you've lost Joey.
Mm-hmm.
She's not thinking straight.
Yeah. And then I didn't like when Jen blamed Andy for Abby's death when they kicked them out of the wedding, which led them to being on the pier.
Because again, who stole the alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Andy. What did you think though of that grief? I don't know. What is it?
Group.
Yeah. What did you think of that? Literally, I was watching Pacey just go like, just be weird, and Jack is just, I think, trying not to laugh, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can tell nobody wanted to be there.
because I mean, Pacey's like sitting there like messing with his fingers, and
Mm-hmm.
Jack's trying not to laugh, and
Mm-hmm.
and Jen's looking around at everybody.
Yeah, because like when it was time to talk about her, like, you could see like the main characters, they didn't know what to say about Abby until that like one random girl that we've never seen before said something about her and like how they had those wristbands or whatever in honor of Abby. And I'm like, you don't care. You didn't even know her. Where did you even come from? You know?
That's part of the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gives a crap about Abby but Jen.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Why? I feel like nobody would have been at the funeral. Let's be honest. But Jen and her
Mm-hmm.
family.
Yeah. And then Dawson's mom got
Well,
that. Oh.
Okay, I have a question. Remember? Okay, so in that grief group, when the counselor or whoever
Mm-hmm.
brings up to Jen, oh, did you want to talk about her? Like, I heard you were her friend, or
Mm-hmm.
you were close to her, whatever. Wouldn't that be something Jen would want to do in private, like one-on-one, not to the whole group of her classmates?
Yeah, well, sometimes speaking in a group is good for people than one-on-one.
I don't know. I would rather do one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
especially with your peers. Like, I wouldn't want to be all emotional in front of my peers, especially at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids are immature. They laugh at you, especially like, if you have something important to say. Think about our class. Like, they
Yeah.
would laugh. So, no, I would rather do it one-on-one with an adult.
I don't think they would laugh at somebody crying like that in that situation.
I don't know. I just feel like teenagers are immature.
Some are, yeah, but I don't think about this topic, this situation.
Okay, but it's Abby. They'd be like, "Oh, why are you crying about Abby?"
Yeah, because I mean,
That's what
when
I mean. Like, it's not somebody like important in the school like that did good.
mm-hmm.
It was Abby,
Yeah,
the train wreck.
yeah, because like some of our classmates went through a rough time when in elementary when that teacher passed away. Do you remember?
Yes, but again, she was important.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, yes, I remember walking in that day
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was crying.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of them lasted that day, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in school.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't cancel for that class.
Right. Yeah. I remember walking in and getting in line to walk in the building because for some reason we did that. I don't know why we just didn't walk in, but anyhow,
I feel like I was like late. I don't know.
yeah, I feel like I was late too because a lot of people were already there.
Yeah,
People were like quiet, and some people looked upset, and I was like, "What
I
happened?"
know.
I had no idea what
What
happened.
did me and you do go in the same time?
Yeah.
I had the same reaction. I'm like, why is everybody
Mm-hmm.
crying?
Yeah, I had to ask my aide because I didn't know who to even ask. I didn't want to ask somebody that was upset and make them more upset. I was just confused because I never like experienced that kind of thing before.
I know. I'm like, wonder
Hmm.
how her dogs survived.
I'm thinking they probably went off to somebody else um that was used to train dogs for what's it called for being um
Service dogs.
yeah, there you go, yeah for that,
But I'm just saying because dogs get attached.
yeah,
So I feel like they would,
at least the one that she had, because I think she had like actually owned one herself
yeah.
as a like a companion other than being for the job, but yeah,
I have a question.
yeah.
Given how some people are allergic to dogs,
Hmm.
how in the world was she able to bring in a dog? I'm just saying, in general.
I don't know because I feel like cats are more common for allergies, but
Yeah, but I've seen or I've heard of kids that are allergic to dogs.
well maybe she asked like the kid's parents maybe like to give like ask permission if she can have her dog in the classroom from them. I'm thinking.
Because, or maybe the office picked only kids that weren't allergic.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like
I
that'd
don't
be a lot
know.
of work. Like go through the class and be like, okay, which which kid isn't allergic?
Well, I don't know. Okay, at least the 30 that were in the class, just make sure they all are
Yeah.
not allergic
Mm-hmm.
before you bring in the dog. I don't know. It's just,
Yeah, because we weren't allergic, but we weren't in the class,
I don't
so
know. Oh, no, no, I did. I was.
you were.
For like 30 minutes.
What do you mean? What happened? Was it with one of your dogs?
Huh?
You said you're allergic, right?
No, I'm not allergic. No,
What are you talking about?
thought I was in the class for like 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. When we did that switch, we went like it was like a whole rotation. We went through every classroom to play games for some reason.
No,
It wasn't that?
no.
Oh.
It was because I went to host program.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that rings a bell now. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I would return,
Mhm.
it was when my class was at recess.
Mhm.
So for some reason, our whole grade did not go to recess, only like my class. And it
Mhm.
might have been your class because it might have been in teams. And because your class and my class were in the same team.
Like
Because,
two classes at a time.
yeah, not
Mhm.
like the whole grade. Because
Yeah.
think about it, we had four. That is a lot of
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they went in teams or I don't know. But for some reason, my class just was not in class.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't go. And they're not going to just let me randomly go outside. So I had to go into her classroom and just sit there until my class came back. So I got to see the dog. So yes, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I only went there like a couple times though.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where my class really was. I'm just making that up. I was little. How am I
Yeah.
supposed to know where they went?
Yeah.
All I know is I went there. Well, I mean, host wasn't every day. It was only like once or twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did wonder how she was able to bring the dog. You know what's sad?
Mm-hmm.
We lost a lot of like staff.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
4th grade.
Who from 4th grade?
My 4th grade teacher when we were in 7th grade died.
Oh, oh. Mm-hmm.
Uh, her, and then 5th grade teacher, her husband.
Mm-hmm. Remember when she showed us the story of that too? I was kind of surprised she.
She did.
Yeah,
Maybe I was absent that day.
It might have been during lunch. I don't know. Or no, I think she was just like having a hard day that day. I don't know if it's like an anniversary of his death or something, but she was
Well,
upset.
I remember the anniversary of his death
Yeah.
because this is where it ties into when Mr. Peterson left
Mm-hmm.
and left the kids to be by themselves, which made no sense. Remember when I said that?
Mm-hmm.
This ties into it. This is what made me think of it was on his anniversary of his death, for some reason she went to work that day. I
Yeah.
guess maybe to get her mind off of it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work
Yeah.
because at lunchtime she left.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when we came back from lunch, our principal was there. And she was there until another teacher had time to take over. Because I think it was another teacher's prep for that last 50 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she took over.
Mm-hmm.
But our principal was there for a good chunk of the time in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came in. I remember we were playing Hangman and all kinds of things because we weren't doing anything because they didn't really know what to teach us for that half a day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember like it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, because all of us knew.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, in 5th grade, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That we all knew what not to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even then, our principal was like, if you need to talk or anything, and I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't know him. But yeah, that's what made me think of it about Mr. Peterson was they didn't leave us alone.
Right. Yeah.
So they wouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, they would have made us go to another classroom.
Right.
If they couldn't find anybody,
Mm-hmm.
they would have been like, hey, you're all just going to hang out with this class.
Yeah, or maybe go to the library or something.
Yeah. Or they would have maybe had like our gym teacher come in or us go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then they would have just canceled gym for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had a lot of options. Yeah.
Yeah, they had options. But I'm just saying, like, even in high school, they definitely would have made sure we were watched.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you get to roam around for this 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No way in heck would they ever allow that.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And then Dawson's mom tells him that she got an offer to be a network correspondent in Philadelphia.
What did you think of that?
Well, she said she got it because of the whole interview with the girls that she did. And I'm like,
Did they even finish that?
Well, I was thinking, was it even really that good? Get like
she couldn't even get them to talk.
Yeah.
Until Abby was saying mean things.
Yeah, and then she kicked her out, so she was down a girl. I don't know how that, turned out after that.
We didn't see any finished product.
Mm-hmm.
But we never do on this show.
Yeah, so then Gail tells Dawson that if she takes it, she imagines Mitch moving back in with him so Dawson doesn't have to leave, which I thought that was a good, plan B, just so Dawson doesn't have to move either, because that would be a big change for him. What?
I don't like Gail in this scene.
Oh.
Because she doesn't think of Dawson. Because when she sits on a step and she's feeling sorry for herself and she's like, well, if I don't take this, I mean, she's going on about her career. And then Dawson's like, well, you still have me. I'm like, exactly, dingbat, as
Yeah.
in her. You're thinking too much of your career and not your son.
Mhm.
Seriously? That's what made me mad was Gail is too into her career and oh, this would be really good, make more money. Life is not about making more money.
Mhm.
I mean, to some people it is, to the greedy people, but it should be about family
Mhm.
and trying to be a good person. Making money is not going to do that. All it's going to do is tear you away from your family, your son, and then you're going to have a really great relationship, right? When is she planning on seeing Dawson? If she's constantly working. What,
Mhm.
during the summer?
Or the weekends, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's real good parenting. Like, this is so stupid.
Mhm.
It's not a good time for her to leave. So, why in the world is she only thinking of herself? Because she didn't even ask Dawson really how he feels about it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
she already in her head had everything planned out. Instead of asking him, how would you feel if I was gone?
Mhm.
Because, yeah, he says right away, I don't want to move.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, I didn't think you would. And I'm like, but it doesn't mean you should leave either.
Yeah.
He needs both parents,
Mhm.
especially because he still has them alive,
Mhm.
like Joey.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dingbat. No. I think one reason too she wants to leave, yeah, for her career, but also because then she'll get away from this relationship with Mitch.
Mhm.
Like it's a good distraction. But
Mhm.
again, your son must not be the top priority. Because as a parent, your kids are your top priority.
Right.
They should be.
Mhm.
And if your career is more important than your kids, not a good parent. And that scale in this moment is, huh, let's go to a different state. As in her. And yeah, let's see how well that works. No, you're stupid. But yeah, I was like, poor Dawson though in that moment, like his mom does not think of him.
Mhm.
She's such a good mom, isn't she?
Yeah. There is.
Because all she's doing is feeling sorry for herself if she doesn't get the job and all that, if
Mhm.
she doesn't take it, instead of
Yeah.
thinking of her son, who should be the number one priority. Oh, yeah, I did not like her.
And then Graham goes into Jen's room and saying she was fond of Abby, but she felt like she was mocking her.
She was.
Mhm.
And what kind of person is Jen that she just she let Abby mock her?
Mhm. Jen says that she does that about everybody.
Yeah, not a good person.
And then Graham starts going on about how she doesn't understand why God took someone so young.
Yeah.
You don't want to touch on that?
Oh. Well, I mean, clearly the writers wanted to get Abby off, so I don't know.
I mean, just the whole thing in general.
Because then she just starts yapping about religion and all this, and then I was just tuned out.
Mm. Yeah. And, just that was her way of processing it. Jen's the complete opposite. And then Graham tells Jen that she's there for her whenever she needs her, which was nice. But, you know, I think Jen wants to be alone right now.
Jen always wants to be alone and feel sorry for herself.
Well, her friend did just die and she
She's
witnessed
not
it.
her friend. She was an evil person.
It was the closest to a friend she's had for a
The
while.
devil? Okay.
And just witnessing it, too, is really bad.
Jen was drunk. I'm surprised she even remembers what happened.
Well, I'm sure she was less drunk than Abby.
She was laughing at her when she had her head.
Yeah. She didn't think it was that serious, though, until she fell over. And then Pacey is mad that Jen told Andy that it's her fault that Abby died, as he should. And then, Pacey went on to remind Andy how bad of a person Abby was, and Andy tried being friends with her, and she did. Because, now Andy's feeling guilty about Abby's death with Jen.
Well, yeah, because then Andy and Pacey are going to uh, Abby's house,
Mm-hmm.
to see her mom and stuff. Um, and then Andy was saying that, like, oh, she's trying to like think of like nice things to say, and Pacey's like, why? And the thing, well, because she said that nobody wants to hear bad things about someone when they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because she said she remembers all the nice things people said about her brother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Andy, and this is what Pacey should have said, was like, your brother was normal. Abby, no. Like, Abby hated everyone and
Mm-hmm.
said mean things to everyone. I highly doubt Andy's brother did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if people were saying nice things about her brother,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they were real. If people say nice things about Abby, they're not real.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference, and that's what Pacey, I was like waiting for him to say, but he didn't say it. But, and you know, like, Andy wasn't mean to Abby. Abby was mean to Andy,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, she was just nice at one time when she asked if Andy needed a ride from Dawson's house.
Yeah, but I was like waiting for it to like come back as like mocking her,
Mm.
like where she lives or her mom or like more mocking.
And also the time when, I mean, it was bad at first, but then she changed her mind with her mystery project about telling the class about that note and Andy and Pacey and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she changed her mind at the last second to not say anything. That wasn't as nice, but it was still kind of a nice thing. Like Andy did thank her, before she walked up for her presentation.
Yeah.
But what do you think about not Jen, Andy and Pacey going to Abby's room to get her diary? Well, Andy's idea
I
to
was
get
gonna
her
say
diary.
Pacey didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to the house.
I'm just surprised they're able to sneak up like that without anybody knowing, even her mom.
I guess the house was full.
Yeah. Well, if it was full, then it really should have been difficult. But I'm just surprised her mom, Abby's mom, didn't hear anything like come walking to the stairs and
Well,
seeing.
maybe they said they had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But when Andy said that she wanted to go see Abby's room,
Mhm.
Pacey says, "Why?" Literally, right before he said why, I said why out loud. And then he says why. I'm like, see, we think alike.
Mhm.
It was because I'm like, seriously, why does she? But why does she? Like, really?
To get more inspiration for the eulogy.
She's gone. What kind of inspiration are you gonna get? I was
Well,
actually surprised that Abby had a purple room
mhm.
and it looked nice.
Yeah. Andy,
Because Abby was not a nice person.
yeah, well, like Andy said, you can learn a lot about someone from their diary and just get a better picture of who she was. That was the idea until she started reading bad things about
Well,
everybody.
first though, Pacey said people's privacy deserves to be respected. Do you agree with him?
Yeah.
Me too.
We're talking about like Dawson from before?
Well, yeah, but I mean, whether you're,
Alive or dead, you
you
mean?
know,
Yeah, definitely.
but I think I'd be Andy nosy, wanting to like read whatever.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like when someone dies and they're your family, you go through stuff.
Yeah.
Like like if they got like notebooks, you'll go through, see what, I've done it. So it's like, and then you're like, oh, that was so sweet or whatever. Luckily, I've never come across anything bad.
Mhm.
But Andy did.
Yep. And she got to a part about Pacey, but Pacey closed the book really quick.
I don't want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, so
It
she
couldn't be anything true because Pacey isn't that person.
yeah. And then Abby even talked about her mom and saying she was a psycho.
Mm-hmm. Which
Yeah.
her mom seems really nice. So
Yeah.
I don't know how she raised Abby.
Mhm.
Like, she's a really nice lady
Yeah.
who raised the devil.
And then was Jen drinking at the pier at the same one where Abby
Yep.
fell? Okay, I was just making sure.
I have no idea why.
Again, processing, thinking everything.
But why would you go to the crime scene?
Just processing, thinking everything.
Okay.
And then she kicked those flowers off into the water.
I know, but she was high up there too.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, she could have
she could
easily
have
fallen too.
jumped.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, I know, but she's in such a grief. I thought she might jump.
I thought she would fall if anything.
Yeah, and then she's drunk. She's not gonna catch herself. Like, she's not gonna
Mhm.
be able to like swim or anything because she was wasted.
Yeah.
What did you like when? How did you like when she went back home, and Grams was like, "Have you been drinking?"
Yeah, and Graham tells her she can't mask her feelings with alcohol. And then that's when Graham is no, Jen said that Abby is probably in hell doing tequila shots with Belly's, but I don't know how she said it. I didn't even know what that was. I had to look it up. I found out it's another word for Satan. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically she was saying that Abby was in hell doing shots with Satan, which was,
Well, that's Abby.
yeah, pretty wild to say in front of Grams. So Grams was like, there's a special place for Abby in heaven that God has for her. And then Jen was like, God's got a 5-bedroom beach condo in Maui for dead kids. You know, that
You
was,
know, well, she just keeps going
yeah.
on and on and on.
Yeah, so they just kept arguing again. They've been about the same thing they've been doing over and over again since the very first episode of season 1. Um, and then that's when Jen says that if she can't be herself or speak her mind, she might as well move out. I think that kind of gave the little idea, started off,
Mm-hmm.
of her actually leaving.
Yeah.
And then,
So what did you think of Dawson talking to Mitch about Gail?
um, well, his dad said that during this time, when I was about the funeral, actually, I'm looking at my notes.
Well, because he said that he would call her and congratulate her, and Dawson's like, "Oh, that's it."
Yeah.
And it's like, but Dawson, he filed
Mm-hmm.
for divorce.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So he's just mad that he'll let Gil go and, to quote his dad, like, grab onto those you love, huh? They said a little minute, before that during a time like this with a death that you hold on to the people you love, never let them go. So that's why Dawson said that. But,
Not if they've done wrong.
mm-hmm.
And you can't, get it back.
Yeah.
Like, he's always going to think if she's cheating. So that's no life.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves to be happy. But I didn't like it. I'm like, once again, Dawson is taking it out on Mitch instead of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
He understands where the cheater comes from, apparently, but not the good person. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Why does he have to be so mean to Mitch? Mitch didn't do anything besides trying to process his life the best he can.
Yeah.
Like, Dawson is so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he's your buddy.
No, not my buddy.
No, he's not.
No. And then at the ice house, Jack
Oh,
and
this was fun. These two are
Joey,
funny.
yeah, talking about Abby and how just Jack keeps thinking about how he might have been the last person that
Well,
Abby ever kissed.
first, did you like when he grabs the stick, or what was it, the broom or something? Or mop, or I don't know. But then he was like using it as like a mic. He was going like this, and then he'd go like this,
I don't
talking.
remember that.
Probably because you are typing and not watching
Mm-hmm.
this show. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah. And then with
Well, what did you think when he said that he he thinks he was like the last person kissed her?
yeah, it was just a thought. Yeah, just,
It was funny.
that's what I would have thought of too, because that was like his last moment with her anyhow. So it's hard not to think about that. But I was surprised that Joey said at least she went out with a bang.
I know, it made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were both laughing, so
Yeah.
it was good. So when Pacey told, because Andy's all stressed out about this eulogy,
Mm-hmm.
and then Pacey said he would do it, for her, because she was all stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was like, "You would?" And he said, "I would do anything for you, so you wouldn't have a nervous break."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love him."
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Dawson would have done that?
Yeah, but I feel like he wouldn't know what to say either.
No, he'd be like, "She was a devil."
Mm-hmm. I feel like Pacey could come up with something on the spot.
Yeah,
Might take him a
lie.
minute.
He would just lie
Yeah.
right through his teeth.
And then, too, he said that, well, I'm about to have a nervous breakdown by just living vicariously through you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Andy told him that she knows what it's like to care about someone who has a chance of becoming, well, I kind of chose different words to have it make more sense in present terms, but having them becoming mentally unhinged too. And then Andy tells him that she needs to take care of herself and that she'll deliver the speech.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would have been, I think it'd be funnier, though, to see what Pacey had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because he really hated Abby.
Yeah. I think I would have lied, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You
he's telling
just
Andy to
went,
lie.
what can I say? What? Didn't he tell her earlier to just lie?
Yeah, yeah.
And then she said, you can't lie. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, then you're going to be saying horrible things about her because that's the person she was.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson was reviewing his movie with Abby's scenes.
I didn't care for that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like nothing really happened in the scene that I need to talk about.
Yeah, well, Pacey was telling him how frustrating it is to keep things straight for Andy so she doesn't get stressed out. And then that's when they talk about Abby.
Okay, this is the thing that I can't stand about this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're always like Pacey and Dawson are best friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yet they never really have scenes together.
Yeah.
They always have scenes with other people. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was so nice this episode in that scene to have them sit down, talk as what friends would do.
Mm-hmm.
And Pacey's, talking about his girlfriend. I mean, it's what he would do. So I was like, I'm so happy to finally see it. I get to see it at the end of season 2.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Really? They don't act like they're best friends. I needed more of Dawson and Pacey as friends.
Yeah.
Because it's always Dawson and Joey. Dawson. Like, Pacey's like the third wheel. It's ridiculous. If he's your so-called best friend, you should be hanging out with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if you have a girlfriend, you'd be splitting your time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would just never be around your family.
Right.
Well, did you want more Dawson and Pacey scenes?
Yeah. And that would have been great for the show.
Yeah. Because it's all like one-sided, and I don't like it.
And then with the scene with Joey and her dad, how she said that her mom's face is fading away from her mind with time, and that scares her. And then her dad did comfort her and saying that um he still sees her mother inside her, so she's still living on in that way, so she's not really gone.
But it's weird because didn't Joey say that like Bess reminded her of their mom?
Mm-hmm.
They don't look alike, Bess and Joey. And then the dad is like kind of like saying that he can see her mom in Joey. And it was like,
Maybe it's her characteristics more than her looks.
I hope so, because Bess and Joey do not look alike.
Mm-hmm.
And if the mom looks like Bess, then she can't look like Joey.
Right.
I wonder if they forgot they even wrote that.
Maybe.
Probably. They forget a lot of things they write.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably one of them.
And at the funeral, Pacey says that they can leave, because it hasn't started yet.
That'd be me.
And then Andy says, no, I'll want to give this speech even if it kills me. And then Pacey, did you write down what he said?
No, I didn't write down what
Okay.
he said.
I was surprised he said this, because like anybody could hear him too around them. But Pacey said that, well, I guess we can just slip you in the coffin with Abby.
Her.
Yeah. And Andy gave him a look, because I would too. It's not the time to be funny. Yeah. And then that's when Joey walks in, so she does end up showing up, and then she sits next to Dawson, and he holds her hand, just like she had asked before. And then Graham walks in, sits next to Jen, and then Graham's like, she hopes they can avoid fights like this in the future, and she forgives her. And Jen says that she wants her understanding, and it's something that she's never been able to provide.
Grams has tried to understand Jen.
Yeah.
She doesn't drag her by her hair to church like she could.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in a lot of people's houses, this is my house. You're going to do what I say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like it, you can leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's never made her go to church.
Right.
She could, but she didn't.
Yeah.
And, she's just, think about how many times has Jen been drunk? Like, that's all the girl's done this season.
I know.
And so, and Graham's, kind of, I feel like, lets it go. I don't know. But it's just really annoying that she's like, you've never understood. And I'm like, Jen, yes, she has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she could have been a whole lot worse.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, I never talked back to my grandma.
Right.
like you just understood that that's not what you do to your grandparents.
Yep.
And the fact that Jen says these nasty things to her grandma is
Mhm.
horrible.
Yeah.
Because who taught you you could do that?
Mhm.
You don't do that. You're supposed to respect them
Yep.
and what they, believe.
Mhm.
And that's why, that's, I mean, Grams could be she could be the devil grandma, but guess what? She's not.
Mhm.
She's really being nice to Jen.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you a whole lot of other grandmas wouldn't take that crap. Do you think that a lot of grandmas would?
No.
Okay, then. Think if you were like Jen. It'd be like, I don't think so.
Mhm.
There'd be some problems.
Yeah. At the funeral, pastor asks for anyone to go up and say words about Abby. So, since Andy doesn't, Jen walks up. I think if do you think if Andy would have went up first and spoke, that Jen would have still done what she did?
I don't know.
I don't.
Probably, I don't know. Because she was very upset that the whole town was grieving Abby.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe
So
she would
she
have.
was really annoyed that everybody was faking it. Because nobody cared but her parents that she was gone.
Mhm.
Everybody honestly was probably celebrating. You know what I mean? Because they
Mhm.
hated her.
Yeah. I think Jen just would have instead of talking about just specifically Abby, she would have talked more about people and how they really felt about Abby because she didn't really mention that in her eulogy. Yeah, but um, Jen really was honest about Abby and who she was. Saying she had a toxic personality, she was cruel, spiteful, and petty.
Well, she was.
Yeah, and she stirred up trouble and taking pleasure in other people's pain. And then um, that this is when she gets Graham upset. And she goes on to talk about God and how can he create a world that is so full of suffering and tragedy, and that Abby taught her to drink and live her life with her own set of values. And then Abby actually gave her that small amount of honesty that she'll always be grateful for. So that's when Graham actually gets up and walks out of the church. Yeah, so you really messed up when someone, that you care about, or not really care about, I mean someone that cares about you actually walks out like that in front of everybody to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Andy goes up after Jen sits back down.
Well, yeah, I mean, at first Andy's like, should I go?
Yeah.
But her mom just keeps staring Andy down.
Yep, so
Poor
she yeah,
Andy.
had no choice.
She's I would have been like, lady, I didn't even know your daughter. Your daughter was horrible to me.
Mhm. And that's when Andy actually finds some truthful but still, being nice about her, about Abby, and she said that she challenged her and pushed her to her breaking points and mustered the courage she never thought she had, and that Abby gave her strength, and it was a gift. She was one of a kind, no one like her, and she would always hold a special spot for her
Is
in
the
her
devil.
heart. Yeah, I thought that last part was a little stretch, but
She was stretching a lot of things in this.
mhm.
That's what I mean. Pacey's would have been funny.
Yeah. And then after they didn't really bury her, they just put flowers in the
Yeah,
coffin, then they just walked away, like, they didn't have the, coffin be, you know,
they
um,
don't.
I can't find the word, for the coffin to be raised down, is it yeah, raised down into
Yeah.
the
They
grave, yeah.
don't. They actually don't do. I've actually, because I've been to a couple like recently in the
Mhm.
past 5 years.
Yeah.
They don't do it right away.
Oh, okay.
They're like they like wait for everybody to leave and then they
Mm,
like actually put them down and
okay.
close them. And I'm like, because I'm always like, oh, I'll get to see it. No.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I want to make sure they're in the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't. They don't. At least the ones I've been to the last few,
Mhm.
they don't do it.
Right.
And I think it's weird because in
Mhm.
movies you see it happen
Mhm.
where they're like digging the dirt on top, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, that's definitely a movie.
Mhm.
They let the or the cemetery do it.
Mhm. Andy and Pacey walk, um, back home or towards their house, somebody's home, one of theirs. Well, probably Andy's most likely, after the funeral, and then Pacey said that he's been worried about Andy and that she really put the eulogy off, and then Andy said that this experience has brought her closer to Tim. And then Andy goes to talk to Jen, and that's where she apologizes for blaming Andy for Abby's death.
But didn't she talk to her right after the funeral, right? Because Jen was sitting in the chairs.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
so they didn't go home yet. They were leaving, but
Yeah.
Jen saw her, or Andy saw
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, I forgot. They were
There's too
walking
many
away.
A's and J's around here.
Yeah, I just put walk, but I meant they're walking away from the burial site, and that's when Andy still saw Jen there, and that's when she turned back around, yeah, to talk
Yeah,
to
and
her.
that's when Jen apologized.
Mm-hmm.
That it was really Jen's fault. And I'm like, Jen, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't Andy's fault. It was Abby's fault. And
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, it was just an accident.
Yeah. And then that's when Andy tells Jen about Abby's journal and that Abby's mom will be devastated if she finds it,
Yeah, then what does Andy do?
The very last scene, she snuck back into the house again without being caught somehow.
How did no? I mean, was the mom still at the
It
cemetery?
could have been, but why is the door unlocked?
I don't
Unless
know.
Andy found a spare key, on the
No, I didn't
porch.
see her open the door.
Yeah.
I guess in this town, everybody just leaves their door open
Yeah.
and their windows.
Mm-hmm. So she goes up to Abby's room and finds a diary. I feel like she didn't get it in the same place she got it the first time. I think it was somewhere else. She found the diary in her room.
I don't know.
But I think Pacey might have put it in the drawer, I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, she gets it from a drawer.
Then she sees
Abby.
Abby's.
When Andy got the diary from the drawer, and then in the reflections, she saw Abby for a quick second because she turns around and nobody's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she's starting to go backwards.
Yeah.
But I thought, isn't she on medication?
She should be, but
I mean, she was. She must have stopped taking it. Because why else would she be starting to see things?
I mean, sometimes medication can make you hallucinate already too, so it depends. Could be a lot of different things.
Well, I think she needs to go back to her therapy session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she only went to that once.
Yeah,
that was
and that's the one that said, "Oh, you need to let loose."
Yeah, and she never even went back to tell her therapist what she did.
I know. I think it'd be more entertaining to see the therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the other crap that they show us,
Mm-hmm.
like the partying, I don't care about. Like, give us something different.
Yeah.
So the ending, because
Mm-hmm.
I think we've talked about everything else.
Well, no, not about Jen and her grandma.
Well, that's what I was talking about. The ending.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
Is
about Abby because that was the last scene.
no, but
Very last scene.
well, this was the ending. Was Graham's kicking Jen out?
Yep.
What did you think of that?
Well, I wasn't surprised. I felt like she was gonna move out anyhow before when she said that she might as well move out.
So you
But I
thought
thought she would have.
Jen would have just decided to move on herself, like by
Yeah, I
herself?
thought she would have just moved out herself. And
Well,
not in this episode either. Like maybe the next episode.
she would have realized it.
Yeah, like when she figures out what to do and then leaves.
When Grams said, "How about a little understanding for me, your
Mhm.
grandmother?"
Yeah.
I felt that so much when she said that because
Mhm.
Jen, ever since Jen moved there, she has not understood or cared about Graham. And no matter how much she says that she loves and cares about her grandma, she doesn't because when her grandma said like you will not remember when she about Vincent and something about she won't be disrespectful or something in my house.
Mhm.
And that's all Jen has done and continues to do.
Yeah.
If you respected your grandma at all,
Mhm.
you would not drink, have random old guys at the house. Like,
Mhm.
you would be a good kid.
Yeah.
Or at least try and then party outside of Graham's house.
Mhm.
You wouldn't do that inside her house and be disrespectful and
Yeah.
then say horrible things to her.
Mhm.
That would not fly. So, usually my family, it wouldn't fly.
Mhm.
So I so felt that. I was like, Grams, you're doing the right thing kicking that girl out because she doesn't respect you.
Mhm.
Like she, if anything, she's so mean and like Grams cannot be herself in her own house that she paid for.
Mhm.
Like Jen needs to learn a little something, a little respect.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Grams pays for everything too. Jen doesn't have a job. Well, you know how Dawson, Joey, and Pacey all have a job?
Yeah.
Jen
They still
needs to
do?
go get herself a job.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, it's been a minute since we've seen the video store, but yeah, as far as we
Yeah, but
know,
we know that
yeah,
the
Casey and
three of
Dawson.
them
Yeah.
have at least had a job.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, and Jack too. Forgot about him.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I don't. Jen is out of control,
Mhm.
and she needs to grow up, get a job, and stop it.
Yeah, and Graham said that she should live with someone she respects.
Yeah. And who's she gonna live with? Abby's gone.
Yeah. I was just surprised she was able to get all her stuff packed
That
up in that,
quick.
yeah, in that short amount of time with all the boxes and everything. 'Cause, like,
She
obviously,
moved pretty fast.
yeah, the only thing she didn't pack was the furniture, obviously, but, like, everything else, like, we saw, we've seen Jen's room a few times, like, just once in this episode too, but, still, like, I don't know, maybe she, like, left the posters alone, but, like, the clothes and everything else, I think she probably
Well, I
packed
guess
that.
she was really upset and just threw it all. Or is it maybe the next morning? I don't know.
Mm, I don't know, that's a good question.
Yeah. So, I mean, could be the next
I
morning,
thought maybe it's just later that day,
Well, because
maybe.
remember, Jen was just sitting there for a while,
Mhm.
like soaking it all in.
Yeah, maybe she
So,
was there for, like, an hour or 2,
because
who
remember,
knows?
Graham left the church early.
Oh, yeah,
So
so
she
she had
had
more time, yeah.
time to like
Mhm.
box. And I'm sure because she was upset, I'm sure she was just like, I don't care how it
Yeah.
looks in the box. I'm just throwing it all in the
Right,
box.
yeah.
So, I mean, she had a few hours at least to
Mhm.
box it all.
Yeah.
And she was still boxing as Chen walks in.
Mhm.
But yes, I was glad she kicked her out. I was like, way to go, Grams. Let the girl respect you before she moves back in.
Mhm. Yeah, but it did make me wonder where Jen's gonna go with all her stuff,
Well, and I was
especially.
like, who's going to want all her stuff?
Yeah.
And it's not like she's going to a sleepover.
Mhm, and, like, how is she even gonna move it herself, like, all the boxes, you know?
Well, she'll have to walk. Well, that's the thing. She ain't got no car.
I know, so she'll have to make, like, multiple trips to wherever she's
Well,
gonna
it's her
go.
own problem. She should
Mhm.
have respected her grandmother.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. At some point, you have to respect the person you're living with,
Mhm.
especially because you're so young. It's not like she can just, she doesn't have a job. She can't just move out and on her own.
Yeah, and she can't go back to New York.
Yeah. So that's the thing. You were kicked out of New York by your parents who
Mhm.
don't even talk to you.
Yeah.
And now Graham's kicked you out.
Mhm.
And I'm honestly surprised she kept you in the house for as long as she did.
Yeah.
But yes, I understand where Graham is coming from. I mean, Jen's going to kill Graham
Mhm.
by all the stress.
Yeah.
Jen is stressful.
Mhm.
She's out of control. She needs to go back to New York because and her parents need to parent her.
Yeah.
Why is it Graham's responsibility to parent her?
Right.
All her parents did was say, "Oh, we can't take care of her.
Mhm.
So you're going to go live with grandma who's old."
Mhm.
No, that's not grandma. Grandma raised her kids. Grandma shouldn't have to raise you.
Mhm.
That should be your mom and dad's responsibility, so they should come and get you.
Yep.
I'm just saying, don't put it on grandma. It was so hard because, grandma, was really stern and the way she should be. But then when she closed the door, she was breaking.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I felt him like, aw. Like, because
Mhm.
she didn't want to do it,
Yeah.
but she had to
Mhm.
because she didn't know what else to do. And Jen is out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, were you happy that Graham finally, like, stood up to Jen and, like, kicked her out?
Yeah,
Well,
it
because I
was,
think
yeah.
some people probably don't like that.
Mhm.
That, like, that Graham should just have Jen no matter what. And I don't,
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I
Because,
mean,
again, she's not the parent. She's only the
mhm.
grandparent.
Mhm.
I mean, if I was nasty to my grandma, she'd
Yeah.
be like, you can go back home, right?
Mhm.
So, no, the only people that really shouldn't be able to kick her out is her parents. And while they did that, so there you go. You have no one, Jen.
Yeah. I don't know, I think I just would've maybe been able to find somewhere for Jen to go to just so I know that she's okay, and then, maybe told her parents too. Because do you think she even told her parents that she kicked
I
her out?
don't think her parents care. Her parents don't even call. It's not
Yeah.
like Graham's ever says, hey, your mom called.
Mhm.
Or hey, your mom sent you these goodies.
Yeah.
Or your mom sent you this note.
Yeah.
She did. The parents don't do anything. I've never even. All we ever hear about Jen's parents is the past.
Mhm.
Is like what kind of trouble Jen got into and her parents, like with her parents. Like that was it. We don't hear anything else. So, no, I don't think the parents give a crap where she's, as long as she's not bothering her parents. That's the only reason why they would care.
Yeah.
But Grams did the right thing. Well, I think out of anybody, I think Grams knows she would just go next door because she has no friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what would your high and low be?
Lord. Um, my low would be Jen getting drunk and being mean to everyone.
Hmm.
My high would be Andy stepping in and saying the speech or giving the eulogy after Jen gave her eulogy. That was good.
Yeah.
In front of the whole town.
Yeah, my low was just Jen giving the eulogy, and then the high would be Andy, trying to, make the best out of the situation, and did end up like changing the room because after Jen made her speech, it was just, really everybody was like shocked and everything. So
Yeah, nobody knew what to do.
yeah, so Andy did make it better. And then what would you rate it?
5.
Yeah, I'd say 5 too.
I mean, it wasn't good, and it was all about Abby, who nobody liked. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all the whole town was just acting.
Yeah.
No one gives a crap about her parents
Mm-hmm.
and Jen.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't care that. Like, why is everyone? None of them care. Dawson, Pacey, Jack, Joey. None of them care that she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it isn't going to phase them. They're going to still wake up tomorrow and live their lives. And actually, it'll be better because she won't be bullying them.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, like everybody was just faking it. It was so disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
And then who's your best and worst character?
My best was Andy because she did the right thing about giving the eulogy about Abby. And then the worst is Jen for obvious reasons. How about you?
I'm actually surprised that you said the worst was Jen.
Yeah, well, she didn't make things worse for everybody in
Because
this
I
one.
thought you would have had like compassion for her. I thought you would have said like, well, she's just going through a hard time.
Yeah, she is, but she did go too far with the eulogy. And she said she even
Wait a
regretted it.
minute.
What?
That's what you think she went too far with? The eulogy?
Yeah, well, that's how it all started with everything.
That started way before the eulogy.
What are you talking about then?
For me, the worst was Jen because she blamed Andy.
Oh,
She
yeah.
told Andy it was her fault.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? No. So she was starting out the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't change.
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
said, she made things
she
worse for everybody.
apologized, but guess what? You're still going to feel that.
Yeah.
Like someone literally blamed you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be erased just because they apologized.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So, and especially now, because Andy's mental health, she's, going through stuff. It's not the right time to blame Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when she didn't do anything wrong. So, no, of course, Jen was the worst, and she's out of control. Being mean to Graham
Mm-hmm.
and Andy and anyone else who she could get in the way of. And then the best was Andy. I'm with you. Because she did not have to give that eulogy. I really wanted her to tell Abby's mom to her face that her daughter was horrible, but Andy's not that person. Like Andy's just so sweet, trying to make the best, trying to figure out nice things, even though Pacey's like, just make it all up. So yes, Andy definitely is the best in this episode. I mean, Dawson didn't really do much besides pick on Mitch again.
Yep.
I mean, yes, he did support Joey with her mom, but they're dating. I expect him to do that. Just like I expect Pacey to stand beside Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're both in a relationship. So you know what? Man up and stand by your woman. And they both did. So that's why they don't get the credit, because they should just be good boyfriends.
Yeah.
Who do that.
Mm-hmm.
Where Andy went above and beyond and did something.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice and respectful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, the other one who was the worst was Mrs. Morgan.
Oh, her mom, yeah.
I didn't like that her mom is like telling Andy to do the eulogy.
Yeah, well, she thought they were friends. She didn't know any better.
She should know her daughter has no friends, and especially a good girl like Andy. Okay, does she know her daughter's a devil?
I guess not. She hasn't looked at her diary, so.
But remember, Abby said that her mom started to get a life,
Mm-hmm.
so her mom's never around.
Yeah. And then too with Andy taking Abby's diary, I wonder if that's gonna go anywhere, if that's just gonna disappear, like Casey's tape with um Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
How it's
mean?
just gone and they don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, because if somebody finds it, then all hell will break loose. I'm just wondering if somebody will find that diary unless Andy burns it or something or throws it away. Or, just destroys it and throws it away or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Or if she reads more gossip about people.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, she'd probably read the whole thing once and then maybe throw it away. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
or if
Well,
somebody else finds it, like if
she
Tim
missed.
finds it or something.
Who?
I mean, not
I
Tim.
was like, you're
I
starting
meant
to be
Jack.
Andy.
I meant Jack. Like if he's in the house, he goes in Annie's room for something. Like if he's looking for her and then like spots it on her dresser or something, and
That's funny.
like you know, I don't know, reads it for some reason, or just if it
I
has
don't.
Abby's name on it or
I
something.
don't think Jack would read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably gonna be going. It's gonna probably go nowhere. She'll just have it as a keepsake in her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the end of the episode. What is the next one?
Episode 20, reunited. So we are almost done with
Season
2.
2. Thank
Yep.
God, because season 2 is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there really hasn't been any good episodes.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get there at the end. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just the last few definitely have not been good. So
Right.
we're at the beginning of the season. So,
Mm-hmm.
I need season 3 to come because I'm tired of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, same, but with the ending of this one, with Andy seeing the ghost of Abby, like, I feel like that might be something because it just doesn't randomly happen like that. That has to mean something, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, she's starting to.
Lose her mind.
But I didn't want to, because I mean, she does have.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wonder if she's taking her medication.
Yeah. It could be a mixture of things, it could be,
Stress.
yeah, that and just the medication itself. She could be having a bad side effect with the hallucinating things, so you never know.
I'm still going, she ain't taking her meds.
Well, I guess we'll find out next time.
Are you excited about season 3 though? It's only 3 episodes away.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you
Like,
say it's good, so I really don't know.
are you ready for like new characters
Yeah.
to stir up trouble?
Hopefully not like Abby, at least.
No.
Okay, good.
No, they're good. I
Okay.
think. I'm going with I think.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Thank you for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.